When we began the idea of photographing in Gina, where we now are, the big issue was that there's a low ceiling, a small area, and difficult to light because we didn't want to get in the way of dancers. So we had to hook up lights in basically 3 different parts and different kinds of light. One light that's an ambient light, one light that's very, very hard, and one light on another kind of light source that gave us a moderate kind of contrast. This photograph in particular, as you can see, the lighting is dramatic, and because the movements of the dancers in Zouk are very dramatic. There's an enormous amount of swirling around of hair with the women and deep back bends with the man holding the woman, as you'll see in the picture up here, where Brad is dancing with Addie, and again she is all the way back and he is holding her with a combination, I think, of his upper leg and his hands. So the main thing was to change the way the pictures have been done, how to keep it dramatic. I couldn't really see to focus on the dancers. I had to guess where they would be roughly and just take pictures. This was the first time I had really used a digital camera in a very difficult situation because it was almost completely black. My strobes were so bright they blinded the dancers. But the dancing, because it has so much movement and because the people get really going, I didn't feel that I could have stands, light stands anywhere. They had to be clear, and which became troublesome as to where we put the lights. But essentially, the dancing is such a sort of sensual and erotic dance, but with a formality that's very appealing, that I found first when I met the Zouk dancers in the park and then continued in here. And these are much, much more successful because I develop a kind of an intimacy with the heat of the night and the heat of the emotions of the dancers. And then it just stops. And then they change partners and they begin all over again. But it's a very difficult dance to describe because I think the photographs do the best expression of what the dance is like. It's wild and it's structured, and that is the thing that makes it's rather like abstract expressionism. It goes completely wild, but it's within the confines of a form. And you can't dance without a form, or it just becomes nothing. And I think the emotions match the movements more closely than they do with any other kind of dancing that I've ever photographed. Coming to this picture, this is Addie and Seiko dancing with Jeremy, who you don't see, but he, as you know from the other photograph, is this very fast, strong young man who's, I think, only 17, but quite a star in his great facility of dancing at high speed. Dancing with both these women at the same time, and I thought it made a rather beautiful photograph of them lying back while he is controlling their 2 bodies. This photograph has most of the qualities that I feel important in Zouk dancing, in that it's very deeply connected, the subjects to one another. It's really the emotion of the picture, or of him, that makes the photographs. In fact, that is really all that has any interest to me in these photographs, is the fact that they're deeply engaged in the dance. The men and women are engaged with each other, and they're engaged in the dance. The dance provides the sort of passport to gain a very close relationship for the period of that dance for 5-10 minutes, and then it's over.